The spiritual power of water. Hi, I'm Reverend Andrew Bozeman, and this is On the Wings of Your Mind. And today we're talking about the spiritual power of water. You know, water is all around us, and it's critical to our survival. Yet most people don't realize that it's more than just a liquid we need to drink in order to stay hydrated, or a surface on which boats can float, or a medium in which we can swim and play to stay cool in the summer. But water's significance is much greater than most of us realize or imagine. Think of this, over 70% of the Earth's surface is water. About 60% of the adult body is water. And with the brain and the heart are about 73% water, and the lungs are 83% water. So that means that most of what we are as a human body is water. Now, it's believed that life originated in water and then came up on land. And since most of our body is water, that would explain why being in the water tends to calm us down. So we're reconnecting with the source, with our life source when we're in the water. So our bodies need water to function. Our blood needs water to remain liquid enough to circulate through our bodies and deliver nutrients to our cells. Our brain and spinal cord are encased in water to absorb shocks when we make sudden or violent movements so they don't bounce off the walls. Our joints need water for lubrication. Our mouths need water for saliva. Our cells need water to absorb nutrients and also as a basic building block for creating new cells. Water is not something that's nice to have. Water is so essential that without it, we would cease to exist. We would be dust. Please click on the thumbs up button, and if you haven't already done so, please choose to subscribe. Remember, if you are watching in YouTube, you can subscribe using the little logo on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. If you're in Facebook, you can choose to follow me. The thumbs up button is below if you're for YouTube, and if you're in Facebook, you can choose the like button. Remember, I'd love to hear your thoughts, your comments, your questions, etc. And so you can use the chat box on the right side of the screen, or if you're in Facebook, you can use the chat box below the video. Okay? So I've just talked about the physical aspects of our relationship with water. Basically, we are water. But we're more than just our physical bodies. We're thinking, emotional beings. So what does water have to do with our consciousness? What effects do our thoughts and emotions have on all this water we're living in? So here we can use water as an evaluation or measuring device. Water can show us how we are doing mentally and emotionally. Now in 2005, pull that up, Dr. Masaru Emoto published a book entitled The Hidden Messages in Water, The Hidden Messages in Water. In his book, he claims that our emotions can have an effect on water. He says if we have negative emotions, the ability of water molecules to form together and act in harmony is disrupted because they absorb and respond to that negative emotion that breaks them up. If, on the other hand, we express positive emotions, the ability of water and the water molecules to act in harmony is enhanced, and beautiful physical reactions are the result. To illustrate, let's take a look at this. Now, he took glass containers of water and attached the words to them to express the emotions to each of the container. And then he froze the containers of water and used high-speed cameras with microscopic lenses to photograph the ice crystals that were formed. So here's what he found. When words like evil or you disgust me were put up, had trouble finding it there. Yeah, there it is. You disgust me. Words like evil and you disgust me were put up. It got pretty bad looking crystals out of that. Pretty bad looking uh, patterns. But when he put love, gratitude, thank you, he got beautiful crystalline creations. Okay? So from love, I mean from disgust and evil to love and thank you, we see there's a big difference. The point here is that there's a consciousness in the water that responds to us, and it responds to our emotions, and it responds to our thoughts. Of course, mystics have known this for thousands of years, and that knowledge has also been passed down from one generation to another in those secret magical orders where they train novices to become magicians. Water responds to focused thought and emotion. And in order, Dr. Emoto said, in order to ensure the integrity of his experiments, it made sense that he would use clean, pure water to do his experiments. But he also ventured outside of using pristine waters to see what would happen if the water were not so clean. So he took water from the Fujiwara Dam in Japan after it had been run through electrical turbines and exposed to toxic substances like motor oil. Then he invited Reverend Kato Hoki, who was chief priest of the Yuhoyan temple, to deliver an hour-long prayer over the samples. And the results of that experiment show that water again will respond to thoughts and emotions in a very powerful way. Okay, so this is what they look like before the prayer. This is the water that is contaminated with some toxicity before the prayer. After the minister prayed, then the water changed, and this is what it became after the prayer. Before the prayer, after the prayer. Before the prayer, after the prayer. So, we can see here how focused, high-level thoughts and emotions in the form of prayer can affect the water, because the water, it had reacted in a very dramatic way. The toxicity seemed to have been reduced by the power of prayer, which allowed the water to function more normally. So what's the point here? Well, let's take the example of water in the glass containers and transfer it to a different kind of container, like our bodies. Remember, our brain and heart are composed of 73% water. Our lungs are about 83% water. On average, our entire body is about 60% water. So, based on what we've seen so far, when we are angry or frustrated or disgusted or judgmental, the water that composes most of our body will tend to look like this. Ugh. On the other hand, if we allow ourselves to feel love, gratitude, then we will get water in our body that looks like this. Which condition would you prefer? And more importantly, not only which condition would you prefer, which condition can you make happen? Well, you can make both of them happen, either of them happen, because the power to alter the patterns is all within you. Your thoughts and your emotions are in control. Now, a few episodes ago, I shared with you the fact that you have the power to heal yourself with the focused attention of your mind and with prayer, or with other people praying for you. So looking at that sample of toxic water and how it was affected by the prayer of Reverend Cato Hockey, we can begin to see how prayers will affect the outcome of illness. Okay? Before prayer, after prayer, before prayer, after prayer. These are things that were altered by the fact that the Buddhist priest or Buddhist monk prayed for them for an hour. So remember in the episode a few weeks ago, I told you, or I shared with you, the words of Dr. Harold Koenig, who said, studies have shown that prayer can prevent people from getting sick. And when they do get sick, prayer can help them get better faster. Prayer can help them get better faster. So what the priest did, what the Buddhist priest did, or the Buddhist monk did with this prayer only reinforced what I told you a couple of weeks ago. What he's trying to show us is that we have the power to change ourselves. We have the power to change ourselves and the world around us. It's not through physical action that we would do this. It's not through confrontation, but through mental discipline, positive emotions, and actual spiritual practices like prayer. Of course, there are always differing opinions. And so let me share this one with you. According to Dr. Thomas Sheehan, who holds a PhD from MIT and is director of the Institute for Theological Encounter with Science and Technology, he says that Dr. Emoto's experiments don't conclusively prove that emotions affect water. He said there are too many variables to take into account. So he says it's always convenient to invoke science to buttress pleasant ideas. In the case of the water, the bottom line is be positive and the world will be happy. It may be true that positive thoughts help make a better planet, but it's not because those thoughts affect water. So, there you have it. I include that statement by Dr. Sheehan because we need to know that there's another side, and to give those, there are those who feel that all this talk of positivity is unrealistic. So I wanted to show them that there are also other people who believe that thoughts of positivity are unrealistic. So that offers them some support in order to remain the way they prefer to be. But on the other hand, consider this. What if what I have just shown you is really true? I mean, what if it's true? Even though science has not tested it and retested it to derive some commercial value from it, what if it's really true? Now, we already know we live in a universe of pure energy. We already know that our thoughts and emotions affect the kind of hormones that our bodies produce. We already know that we project out from ourselves an electromagnetic field that affects those around us. We already know that. We also already know that we are individualized expressions of infinite intelligence. We already know these things. So, if we already know these things, so is the possibility that we can affect water with our minds a concept that is outside of our realm of possibilities? Or does it fall within the realm, within the framework of everything else we believe? Water is a very big part of our world. Understanding our relationship to water on many levels will serve to make us much more powerful beings in our own skin. Now, tomorrow I'm going to talk about the energy of water and how it affects us. Today we affect water, but tomorrow we're going to talk about how it affects us. Have you ever heard of negative ions? Let's close with prayer. Thank you, infinite intelligence. Thank you for bringing all of us together in this life so we may become spiritual warriors and joining the work we have come here to do. Thank you, Infinite Intelligence, for bringing us into this space of awareness and a deeper understanding of ourselves and our relationship to life and infinite intelligence. Thank you for showing us who we really are. We open our minds and hearts to the truth of our being. We are the children of God. We are individualized expressions of infinite intelligence. And because we are part of the greater whole, we're beginning to understand our value to the continuity of life on this planet. As we become channels of your power, infinite intelligence, we can feel your presence within ourselves and within our lives more and more. And we know that as we feel your presence within our lives every day, we will rise because we are no longer cut off from you by being immersed in the darkness of fear, anger, and the pain of unforgiveness. So we are now restoring our connection through the grace of forgiveness, knowing that as we learn to forgive ourselves for the pain we have caused to ourselves, and as we learn to forgive those who have inflicted pain upon us, our connections will grow stronger, and our lives will grow happier and healthier and more prosperous. And for this, we are truly grateful. As above, so below. As within, so without. And so it is. Amen. So, thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow so we can continue this discussion. Today we talked about how we affect water. Tomorrow we'll talk about how water affects us. So in the meantime, remember this. I would love to hear your thoughts and your comments, so please use the comment section below. If you haven't already done so, please click on the thumbs up button or the like button if you're looking at this through Facebook. And if you haven't already done so, please choose to subscribe. You can subscribe by clicking on the logo in the left-hand or the right-hand corner of YouTube, or by clicking on follow in Facebook. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. All right. And remember, my name is Reverend Andrew Bozeman, and this is On the Wings of Your Mind.